Good afternoon, everyone. This is Greg with the National Weather Service in Spokane. It's Monday, November 26th, 2018. Let's get started with the weather briefing for this week. For the next couple of days, we're talking about Monday night through Wednesday. We're looking at periods of valley rain and mountain snow spreading into the inland northwest. Not a lot of accumulation in the valleys, but we will show a couple of spots that we may have some lowland accumulations overnight tonight. As we move into the Thursday time frame, it looks like a little less precipitation Thursday, but we'll probably make up for it with some areas of lowland fog. The weather becomes more unsettled again Friday into Saturday with the return of some mountain snow and some valley rain and snow, possibly mixing in some areas across the region. And then by the time we get to early next week, Sunday and Monday, it looks like we'll have some colder temperatures beginning to infiltrate the region, and that may persist for several days, continuing into next week. Here's the snowfall forecast for tonight into tomorrow morning, so Monday night into Tuesday morning. We're looking for the most significant accumulations to occur in the North Cascades in the high terrain and spreading into north central and northeast Washington. This will mainly be a mountain event, but we will have some lowland accumulations potentially in the Methow Valley and in some of our higher valleys in the Okanagan Highlands around Republic. Let's take a closer look at some areas that we may see some travel impacts tonight and into tomorrow morning. We have the North Cascades in a winter weather advisory, as well as the Okanagan Highlands. This winter weather advisory goes through Tuesday morning for the potential for some lowland accumulations and some travel impacts as we talk about some of the passes here. Let's take a closer look at north central Washington. We're not looking at a whole lot of accumulation in central and southern Chelan counties, especially in the lowlands. Places like Plain, Leavenworth, and Chelan probably won't be picking up much snow with this system, but there is a little bit more cold air trapped in the Methow Valley, so we do have the potential for some 2 to 3 inch accumulations around Winthrop and Mazama and Twisp up there, and we may even see some periods where that turns over to a little bit of sleet or freezing rain. Up on the Okanagan Highlands around Republic, we're looking for the potential of 2 to 3 inches of snow up there, and possibly closer to 4 to 5 or 6 inches up on Sherman Pass between Republic and Colville. Detailing the impacts to our mountain passes, we have a bunch of passes here listed, but in general for tonight and into tomorrow morning, we're mostly concerned about the elevations above 4,000 feet in north central and northeast Washington, including Sherman Pass, Loop Pass, and Washington Pass on the North Cascades highways will probably get hammered pretty well tonight, as they have the best combination of moisture and cold air up there on that Highway 20 that goes over the Cascades. As we move into Tuesday night into Wednesday, you can see a lot of our passes in central Washington have less impact, and the accumulating snow begins to transition into North Idaho for Lookout Pass and Lolo Pass. They're looking at getting some minor accumulations, nothing particularly extraordinary for this time of year, but there will be the potential for some slick driving conditions Tuesday night into Wednesday on I-90 and Highway 12 on the passes there. So let's look at Tuesday night into Wednesday afternoon. There will be some minor accumulations in the Cascades, but more significant amounts will be expected in the central and southern Idaho Panhandle once you get above elevations of about 4,000 feet. Taking a closer look at the central and southern Idaho Panhandle, we're not looking for much in the way of accumulating snow below 3,000 feet, so our valleys should be good, with mostly rain expected the next 48 hours or so. But Lookout Pass could get a couple inches of snow. Same story with Low Pass Tuesday night into Wednesday afternoon. Thursday should be a relatively quiet weather day, but by Friday we're looking at precipitation likely returning to the region, and this is a pretty crude map, but it shows the blues here of where we expect snow and the greens where it will be predominantly rain. And there will be some transition from some wet snow to rain from Friday morning to Friday afternoon. Our snow levels will generally be 2,500 to 3,000 feet with accumulating snow in the mountains, and we may see some light accumulations on the mountain passes as well on Friday. Friday doesn't look like a heavy precipitation maker, but it could produce some nuisance accumulations in the mountains. As we move into the weekend, Saturday is a day that we'll be looking at pretty closely. There's the potential for a big storm. At this time it looks like it will impact mostly Oregon and Northern California, but we'll need to watch this one closely. A few model runs have produced heavy snow as far north as Washington and North Idaho. Our latest runs suggest that the track is going to be far enough south that Oregon and Northern California will get it, but we'll be watching this one closely, so stay tuned. As we move into Sunday, it looks like our air mass will be getting cooler and drier, and that trend will likely continue as we move into early next week. Here's the 7-day temperature forecast with the solid lines here. We have the high on the top and the low forecast on the bottom, and you can see relatively mild conditions for Spokane, and that will be pretty representative of the region, most of the region here, with above average temperatures until we get to about Friday or Saturday, and we see that downturn in temperatures. And by Sunday and Monday, I expect these lines to continue to descend with highs around the region in the upper 20s to low 30s early next week, and low temperatures could be quite chilly if we clear out. So it does look like we will see a return of winter temperatures early next week. And that dovetails nicely into our outlook for next week. This is valid December 4th through the 10th. And this is from the Climate Prediction Center in Washington, D.C. And they're forecasting a high likelihood of below average temperatures for the western 2/3 of the United States. We haven't seen a map like that in quite a while. And precipitation by the middle to latter part of next week, we're looking at the potential of some moisture coming in over the top of some of this cold weather. So we could see the likelihood of our first widespread lowland snow sometime next week. So we'll be talking more about that later in the week and at our Monday briefing next week. So with that said, stay tuned. The weather will be quite changeable. It's winter, and we could see some significant weather over the next couple of weeks.